Well, hello there and welcome back to the channel. I'm down here on the beach looking at my collapsed dome tent over there. Thanks to a very windy, blustery day that we're having here at the campground. We've got some rain coming in later this afternoon, so it's very windy right now, but thought I would talk about a few things. And actually we're gonna go ahead and sit down in these chairs to do this, and I'm gonna face you out to the lake because I think that view is better than looking at my ugly mug. But essentially what we have for this week's video is we've got some updates in terms of reservations and or availability for the campsites for this weekend. And this weekend is the ATV Jamboree down in Berlin that is going to bring in ATV riders from all over New England. So before we go around and look at the campsites that we have available for this upcoming weekend, I wanted to talk about a few updates and a few things that we are going to be changing here at the campground. First and foremost, I have ordered 6 new picnic tables. We have 2 or 3 sites, I can't remember exactly the number, that don't currently have picnic tables that we're going to be adding picnic tables to. And the rest of the new picnic tables are going to come in and replace some picnic tables that are in pretty rough shape. So what I've decided to do, I'm going to buy 5 or 6 picnic tables every year, or I'll build them, whichever is cheaper. But Lowe's had a sale this week on picnic tables that made them cheaper than it would cost me to build it myself, given how they are built, and to build them the same way that the Lowe's tables are. So I just went ahead and purchased them. They actually should be arriving later today, and we're going to be scattering them around the campground. So if you're one of the lucky souls to get a new picnic table, is probably because the one that was on your site that was in really bad shape. So so we have that going on. And I want to talk about some of the upcoming specials that we have here at the campground. Also introduced a fall special, which is going to take place during the month of September and October. And what that special is going to have is, if you book at least 5 nights within a 10-day window, which is essentially a weekend plus the week and the following weekend, if you book 5 nights within that 10-day window, you will be allowed to keep your camper at our campground for no extra charge throughout that week. So you would basically have to haul your camper up here at the beginning of the first weekend, and you can leave it all the way until the end of the second weekend, and you wouldn't have to haul it up here that second weekend. So it's a good little thing if you want to come to our campground for 2 straight weeks during the fall season. What's great about the fall season up here is the temperatures are cooler, yes, but the bugs go down considerably. There's far less bugs to deal with during the months of September and October than there are during the summer months. So and of course you got the beauty of the fall foliage coming in too, which usually starts anywhere from mid to late September and goes through about mid to late October. It would be the fall foliage season. And of course, if you're an ATV enthusiast, you can also ride the trails until the end of October. Some of the other events we've got coming up, we've got River Fire, which is a festival in Berlin that takes place on Saturday, October 17th. And that is something they've been doing for years, that they essentially, those little islands that are out in the middle of the Androscoggin River that you can see walking through Heritage Park in Berlin, they actually set bonfires on a bunch of those islands. So it's kind of a neat event, and there's all kinds of events surrounding that day there. So we do have a bunch of sites available still for that weekend, which does bring in a lot of people from out of town. And then we are going to do a campground Halloween celebration where we are going to invite all the kids to get their families to come camping. And if you come camping on the weekend of October 24th and 25th, we're going to have a lot of Halloween stuff going on. We're going to do some trick-or-treating on one of those nights, probably Saturday night, throughout the campground. And we'll basically just have a whole fun little Halloween thing the week before Halloween. So that'll be the weekend of October 24th and 25th. And now I'm going to open it up to you guys that watch our videos. We've got 4 weekends in particular: October 3rd and 4th, September 26th and 27th, September 19th and 20th, and September 12th and 13th. I'd like to do something each of those weekends, just some sort of fun little event here at the campground for anybody who's staying here, to encourage people to come stay those weeks. The fall is probably my favorite time to camp because, like I said before, no bugs, the weather's cooler. Yeah, you're probably not going to go swimming in the lake, but certainly kayaking and canoeing and boating is definitely an option during those times. And of course the fishing is still very good during those times. So if you've got any ideas of fun little events that we could do on those weekends that I just mentioned, put it in the comments down below, and I'd be happy to consider your suggestions, and maybe we'll schedule something that you guys suggest. So yeah, that's essentially what we got going on in the fall coming up. So let's get on with talking about some of the sites that we have for this week coming up. Okay, so the weekend of availability that I'm talking about today is the weekend July 31st, August 1st, and August 2nd. The big thing drawing people to this area this weekend is the ATV Jamboree in Berlin. And we've got, well, Berlin has a lot of events surrounding that in town. And of course, we sit just about a 30-minute ATV ride away from downtown Berlin. So it would be a great place for you to hang out here when you're not down at the festival. But we do have a lot of sites available this weekend. We actually have a full hookup site that just opened up. Somebody canceled at the last second because their camper broke down and they're unable to drive it anymore this year. It sounds like it's going to be a while for them to fix it. So we do have one full hookup site available. It's site 26, and I'll show you that site when we get to that part of the park. But in the meantime, this camper right here behind me is also available. This is a cute little 16-foot Passport ultralight. It is for just 2 people. It's only got 1 bed in it, so you wouldn't be able to put a family in this little guy, but it certainly would be great for a couple. And the big selling point with this camper is the view off the deck. You are right down here on the beach, on the lake, and the views are incredible. That is the first of our rental units that we have available at the campground this weekend. Another camper we have available is our camper with a view. I'm standing inside of it right now. This one houses more people than any other rental camper I've got on the property, thanks mostly to this right here. This is the bunkhouse at the very back of the camper. You've got bunk beds on this side and this side. So you can put 4 adults or kids back here. And then you've got the dinette, you've got the kitchen. You've got a pretty small bathroom, but it's still workable with a shower. So kitchen, living area, and then the master bedroom is up here. I'm in the middle of doing laundry on this unit right now, which is why we've got nothing is set up or the beds aren't made. We did just add a brand new K-Cup coffee machine to this to go with our regular coffee machine. So you can go either way depending on what you choose to use. I just brought that over, but the selling point for this camper is essentially its deck and view. And if you come out here, here's the deck, good sized deck, and then the view looks right out over the beach and the lake. So this camper is available this weekend, but there is a caveat. There is a group of folks who are staying, they're from Canada, and they're staying here on the landing. They have all 4 RV sites here on the landing, and they've kind of oriented their campers in a way that kind of has this camper a little bit locked in. So all of this, you've got, that's site 1 back there. This is technically site 3, but they put their camper in sideways, and they've basically arranged their campers so that they can all come outside their campers, and then they have the area in the middle to hang out in. but they all leave on Saturday morning. So if you were to get this camper, you know, we would make room for you to park your vehicle right here, and have them just give you the room for that. But this is what your view would look like until Saturday morning. Once they leave Saturday morning, this whole landing will be completely empty the rest of the weekend, because I don't have anybody coming in Saturday night to any of the sites out here. So you would have this whole landing essentially to yourself on Saturday night and Sunday. So that's essentially what we have. And I did block out this camper in our reservation system, simply because with it being blocked in like this, it's not ideal, and I didn't want someone to book it and be surprised when they get here and see this whole setup kind of in the way. So so if you do want this site though, call the office, 631-5753, area code 603 of course, and I'll be happy to book you manually, as long as you know that Friday night this is what your view off the deck is going to look like. You still got the views of the lake, but you're going to be trapped in here pretty tight otherwise. So and then Saturday night, this will be all empty and you'll be good to go. So so this is camper number on site number 2. All right, while I'm shooting this video, I'm also making a couple of minor little upgrades to our cabins. Each cabin is getting a new K-Cup coffee machine and a new inner shower liner, because the ones that are in the cabins currently are looking a little tired. So you already do have a regular coffee machine in the cabins, but a lot of people while traveling prefer K-Cups, so I went out and got K-Cup machines for all of our rental units, and I'm in the process of distributing those this afternoon while shooting this video. All right, in case you don't know what one of our cabins looks like, here's a quick glance at what they look like on the inside. You got a little dinette right here. There's also a big one outside that can have 4 people sitting there. You've got a couch. You've got a nice little dinette area. TV, fireplace, bathroom, shower there, and then this is the bedroom. So you got double bed there and bunks here. And this mattress in this particular cabin, this is cabin on site number 8, has got an upgraded mattress, and it is super comfy, but as you can see how thick the mattress is, it's a nice mattress. So that cabin has been upgraded. Eventually we'll get around to all of the other cabins and at least upgrade the mattresses on the adult beds. But for now, that's the one that's been upgraded on this property, and this is the cabin on site number 8. I should note, however, even though I am working on these cabins, neither one of these cabins is available for this upcoming weekend. They are both taken, they're both spoken for, but we do have a lot of dates in August, September, and October where the cabins are in fact available. But over here we have site number 7. This is one of our tent sites. It is available this weekend. You have water and sewer available on this tent site already, and I can bring power to this site for an additional $15 a night. I will be happy to bring 15 amps of power to this site if you should so need. It can hold a camper up to about 25. Actually, you could probably get a 28 footer in here. In fact, while we're talking about tent sites, I'm going to mention our new power and water program for all of our tent sites, because they don't typically get booked. And I get it, a lot of people don't want to tent camp these days, but most of our tent sites, there's a few that can't fit much of a camper on them, but most of our tent sites are big enough. This is a 40-foot long camper, and it could fit, you know, this site goes all the way back here. This is actually site number 11. The camper is sitting in site number 9, so there's 2 sites right here on this flat area, and you can get a very long camper inside this site. And while we're talking about tent sites, I'm going to also talk about the fact that we can bring power and water to any tent site on the property. Our tent sites start at $30 a night, and if you would like power, you can add an additional $15 a night, and if you want water, another $15 a night, bringing you up to $60 a night, which is the same price of all of our full hookup sites down below. So any camper that we can fit on these tent sites, I can bring power and water. The power is in the form of a 15 amp circuit, which wouldn't be enough to power most campers with air conditioners. But I've said in previous videos, we're far enough north here that air conditioners really aren't 100% necessary most days. I mean, there are a few days here and there where it's a bit much, but at night it gets cool. We've been rarely staying above the 50s at night at this campground all summer long. So basically all you would have to do is open up your windows and you'll have nice cool breeze coming through your camper at night. So and most campers can run just fine on a 15 amp circuit. So the power that does come to the campsites, the tent sites, is a 15 amp power. But like I said, that's probably all you're going to need in most cases. So that is available on all of our tent sites going forward as an add-on feature. So you can camp cheaply without the hookups if you want, or you can add the hookups on and you'll be at the same price as our regular full hookup sites. Plus you get the added advantage of having all the privacy, the trees, the shade, and everything else that the tent sites bring that the big RV sites down on the lower part of the property don't have. So there's that. All right, on to the next site. All right, so we're up on the hill now. I'm at the bathhouse, and I just now installed a new shower curtain liner here at the shower. But this is the shower facility inside that bathhouse. The toilet, which is actually less than a month old, and then of course the sink. And then on this side we have just a toilet and a sink. So that is what the inside of our bathhouse up on the hill looks like. And right across from that we've got several sites. We've got site 12, site 13, site 15 right here, site 16 right over there, just beyond that. And we'll look down there, that's site number 17 down below. And then even further below, right over there, you've got site 18. So all of these tent sites are available this weekend with the exception of site number 18. Site number 18 is in our affordable class. It's the furthest away from the bathhouse. It is the smallest site of all the sites up here. So I put that in the affordable category. All these other sites can handle campers on them. Site 13 is actually quite long, and it can handle probably up to a 30-foot camper up here. Site 15 can probably do a 25-foot camper. Site 17 can probably do a 30-footer. Site 16 right over there can probably do a 28-footer, and then site 18 you're only putting a pop-up or a teardrop or one of those, because that's a very tight site and it's hard to maneuver into. But as far as this weekend is concerned and availability, 12 is not available because it actually is a seasonal site. The camper that is just beyond it down there, those folks rent number 12 as extra parking. They have a very large family that shares that camper. And they also have site 12, so that site is not available at all this summer. Site 13 is available this weekend. Site 15 right here is also available this weekend. Site 16 straight ahead is not, but 17 just below 15 is available this weekend. Just like any other tent site, I can bring power and water to any of these sites up here for an extra fee. So $15 a night per service, so 15 for power, 15 for water, and 30 for the sites regular price. And yeah, that's how the tent sites are going to work going forward. All right, let's move on, get back down to the RV sites down at the bottom. All right, this is site number 26. This is the site that just canceled about an hour before I filmed this video. Essentially it starts here and moves all the way across. So this is your fire pit, this is your table, and you're sandwiched in between one of our seasonal campers who may or may not be up this weekend. I think they are coming. And then this is my camper, which will have somebody in it this weekend, somebody renting it out, but that camper will be there. So this is what your whole area will look like in between those two sites. This site is available for this weekend. It is full hookup. I believe the price this weekend is around $70 a night. So it's a great little site. You're in the shade most of the day. It's like 3 o'clock right now, and as you can see, we're in full shade. And then if you're bringing an ATV and a trailer, your trailer will be parked directly across from your site over in this grassy area. That's all of our trailer parking, and that will be full this weekend of trailers. So yeah, that's essentially what we have for campsites available this week. All right, so that's all I have for you this week. If you have any questions, concerns, or inquiries about any of the sites that we have available for this week, don't hesitate to give us a call, 603-631-5753, or you can visit our website at cedarpondcamping.com, and you can go right on that website and you can follow the link to book your site for this weekend. We've got some great sites still available, so get on there, get them booked before they're all gone. Particularly that one full hookup one. That one I wasn't expecting to have, so now that we have that one, we can take care of somebody who has yet to make their reservations for this upcoming weekend. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end it here, and we will talk to you later. We'll see you in the next one. Bye now.